Hello fellow YouTubers. Well, today is Monday, September 24th. Yeah, and yes, the rain's come back again. And well, you know how I feel. I really like it. I really do. Yesterday was quite a nice day, and my wife was busy watering the gardens. And now all this rain's come, it's going to save having to do that again for a while, which is very good. And you can see why. I'll show you why it will save it, because it's amazing how the ground, the subsoil moisture on the ground, how high it is after the rain. This has been 2 weeks since we've had rain. I'll show you. Now you can see that there, how that's filled up. There was only 6 mils in the gauge this morning, but I can't, the trees in the way over there, I can't really see, but the gauge is there, and there's more than that now, there's got to be at least 8, and this rain's going to continue. You can see there's water everywhere. This is what I was going to do yesterday. I was going to mow all this, because I had a really good day. I'll talk about that shortly. Yes, this is my sort of weather. The raindrops keep falling on my head. Yeah, anyway. Yes, it was, I had a good day yesterday. I had a very good day. I've been taking the prednisone, 2 tablets first thing in the morning, as soon as I sit on the edge of the bed in the morning. And, but they weren't working. They weren't doing anything at all, because I was taking my other medications. Well, the doctor said to do that. The Ultrabrone, the Pulmicort. And, but then, yesterday morning, I decided just to take the prednisone by itself to begin with. And it was part of the course every morning. I'm always a bit breathless when I get out of bed. It takes me an hour or so to start breathing in a somewhat normal fashion. But about 2 hours later, after getting up, I took my Ultrabrone. And the two seem to work well together then, with the gap between them, if you know what I mean. And I was feeling good in the afternoon, and it was dry here, as I said earlier. I was going to do the back lawn. I got the line trimmer out to do it, to do the edging, and I was going to mow. I felt like doing it. I felt like I had the puff to do it. And then my wife came out, and she wanted to finish watering the garden. And of course, when my wife comes out in the backyard, the dog comes out, and there's just the mere pulling of the line trimmer to start it gets the dog going berserk. So that was the end of that. But that was okay with me. I thought I'd do it today. But I'm glad that the rain is here, because I wouldn't have been able to do it today anyhow, because I'm having a bad day. So yesterday I had a good day, but today I'm having a bad day. I did go to the doctor, and he's still concerned about my breathing. So am I, because it hasn't been good of late. He sent me for a chest x-ray. So I've already had that, and I've got to go and see him again on Thursday at 11 AM. I said, why do I have to see you so soon again? He said, well, because I won't be here. I said, what, you're going away again? Because you've only been on holidays about a month ago. He said, oh no, it's the long weekend coming on. I said, well, that don't matter, that's only a day. But anyhow, he said, oh no, I'd like to see you on Thursday. Okay, I wasn't going to argue with him. It's an extra $78 for 5 minutes. Yeah, that's how much they earn. Yeah, $78 is the fee. Not bad money, is it? Because I was only in there for about 5 minutes today. Anyhow, as I said, I went and had my x-ray, and now I have the result in. But yes, he wanted to put me back on the nebulizer there and then. I said, no, I was on my nebulizer 15 minutes before I left to come to keep my appointment with you. But I think all those who suffer from COPD, emphysema and other breathing problems know what it's like to have your ups and downs, your good and your bad. And but it seems to be I'm getting more bad of late. My breathing is not good. And I've been exercising, not overdoing it but mainly here in my shed. I do walk when I have the opportunity. I have got a stepping machine, and I have got an exercise bike. And when we go out, we walk a lot. And now I've got my little watching my thing, and my big Fitbit thing here to keep track of different things. I can see how my sleep patterns are going. I haven't checked it this morning. I can't check it down here in the shed because I haven't got Wi-Fi. I tried to do it before, thinking, oh well, the apps on the iPad, and all I've got to do is turn this on like my wife does when she's up inside, because we've got the Wi-Fi up inside. But no, it just froze, didn't it? Yeah, of course it did. So I'll have to take it up inside where the Wi-Fi is. Although I could hook the Wi-Fi up again here, because they've got a unit here. We spent, I think, like $200 on a unit here, but I found that for internet access it wasn't very reliable. I thought it was supposed to be powerful enough, but the internet kept going out. So I hooked it and just put the internet connection cable on my laptop. Oh. Yes, and also I got another little bit of a video here. It's not very good, but you can have a sticky bag, and you'll probably be able to relate to this too. Yesterday, right up here, in that little spot there, between my avatar and those three little dots, there was a green arrow. Now, I've had this before, and that is Google's way of saying to you that you need to update Google. I've done it before, and the changes have been, well, not very much at all. But yesterday, when I did it, well, it changed everything, didn't it? Well, look at this. This is all changed. All these here, they were little pictures. I had a picture of my YouTube channel, YouTube, Netflix, and 10 Daily, which is a website here in Sydney, one of the television stations, Channel 10. And when I click this here, and if I click a video, well, look how it comes up now. Look at that. Totally different. Yeah, well, that's probably out of focus too. No.
Hello, fellow YouTubers.
Today's Saturday. You see, when you type something up here, I don't know. All I type in, I can't see anything. UFO. Right, no, UFO. See how tiny the writing is now? Before it used to be bigger than that. UFO test. I don't know what that is. Yeah, oh, that's still the same. Yeah, that's nice and bold, and the thingamajigs here, they're the same. But they change so many things. I know Google owns YouTube, but boy, it really but yes, I'm sure you can relate to that, can't you? There's always changes. Why do they have to keep changing things? Oh, I've got a cup of tea here. Oh, it's nearly empty. Well, no, it's just under half full. I had a call from the, I suppose the gastroenterologist or whatever, the black who's responsible for, yeah, well, that's what he would be. Yeah, a gastroenterologist, I suppose, because the gastroscopy, and colonoscopy, and of course the woman was a foreign ancestry, you know, and I just understand what she was saying just as well when I had the loudspeaker on. Can you say that again? What did you say? What, you know, their voices. I think you've been there too. She said, we'll get everything sorted out. Being a public patient, we'll get everything sorted out and we'll give you a form and come pick up the form. They take to the hospital. I said, there's no charge. She said, oh, no. She said, only if you see the doctor. I said, what is it to see him? And she had $200. I'm not going to do it. My gut's been playing up terribly. All I need is the gastroscopy, and I'm prepared to do that in surgery. I've said this before. Just give me a something to numb the gag reflex, and I'll just lie there and you can shove it down my throat and have a sticky beat what's going on down there. But anyhow, you know, you've got to have all these tests. People know what's wrong with them. You know that if you've got an ulcer, because I had an ulcer once before, the heliobacterial thingy, and the doctor had before put me on the top tube, got rid of it. And then I come back. Because the doctor won't do it without the proper test, will it? Because I did have the stool test which proved that I didn't have it, but then I didn't have the breath test which proved I did the last time. Oh, anyhow, now listen to the light. Relax. Nice, isn't it? Really nice. If I had the energy, I would get my camp bunk out and make up my bed. Yeah, just lie down and listen to the rain. Well, I suppose I could do a little bit more reading for this one. I must mention that I'm thinking that I might start taking some days off here and there from YouTube. I didn't upload yesterday, but I think I might start doing that regularly on a Sunday, not upload on Sundays, but we'll see. Depends how I feel. But I was feeling good yesterday, so I just didn't get around to doing it. But I might take Sundays off, and I also might also start taking other days off as well. Yeah, a change is as good as a holiday. So anyhow, I'll do a little bit more reading of just another day, but I won't do a lot because I'm already 8 minutes, and the other thing will take a couple of minutes. That'll be 10. So yes. The first reading talking about the fridge door, the family members not closing the fridge door properly. He took a backward step and opened the door wide and stepped forward, feeling the cold apron of linoleum through his socks and wondering if the loss of cold air had compromised the milk. For only God would know how long the door had been left open. Wrapping 3 fingers about and lifting the 3-litre plastic milk container by the handle from its forward position on the bottom shelf, he unscrewed the cap and smelled. Then satisfied, replaced the cap, gathered the tub of soft butter and the jar of Vegemite, closed the door, checked to make sure that it was closed, and shuffled over to and placed the lot on the bench top near the toaster and cereal bowl. The jug had boiled, so he poured a small amount of hot water into the teapot, swished it about to warm the pot, then deposited the hot water into one of the 2 dirty cereal bowls sitting on the bottom of the sink. Placing 2 generous scoops of leaf tea into the teapot, he brought the jug to a boil and poured the steaming liquid into the pot. None of that tea bag stuff for Jeremy. Tea bags. There was precious little he enjoyed of late, but a mug or 2 of hot, freshly brewed tea was something he looked forward to any day of just another day. With the teapot sitting on the rest and covered with the thick woolen cosy, one of 3 his mother had knitted for him over the years, he dribbled hot water over his cereal and splashed it with milk, waiting for a moment or 2 as the crushed flakes absorbed the liquid and ready to add more if needed. It didn't. He poured a little milk into his mug, returned the milk to the refrigerator, gathered a spoon and knife from the cutlery drawer, returned to the bench and, standing before the kitchen sink looking out the window into the backyard, consumed his bowl of now glutinous cereal and enjoying every tacky mouthful. With his cereal finished and his bowl now floating on the water of the soaker bowl, he poured what hot water remained in the jug into his bowl and the other so that they too could soak. He refilled the jug and turned it on and then checked the power point the toaster was connected to. It was on. Proof positive, Jeremy thought, that women are just plain fickle. He pushed down the lever of the toaster and watched the 2 slices of bread disappeared from view, then walked to the dining room, expecting he would, and certainly not surprised to see his wife's coffee mug and plate sitting on the table. He would use her plate for his own toast, a rarity indeed because it was usually smeared with that awful hazelnut spread she liked. With the coffee mug keeping company with ever-increasing number of tenants in the sink, Jeremy moved his toast from the toaster and placed both slices on the plate for them to cool, pouring a mug of tea and sipping as he waited. He didn't like buttering his toast when it was hot. Didn't like it, unlike his cereal, soggy. Preferred the butter and Vegemite creamy rather than liquid. After preparing his toast, he topped up his tea and walked into the lounge room and seated himself, thinking about but deciding not to turn on the television. He was finding it easy to do that these days, even though there wasn't anything worth watching. A total contradiction to what he had thought he would never do, ever. Sometimes he would sit for hours, constantly changing channels, the mute button on, in a vain attempt to avoid the lengthy, but now very familiar cornucopia of telemarketer segments, but quickly realising that the channels had a conspiracy of split-second timing that made it impossible to do so. But of course. And he knew all their faces now, and their names, and all the products they promoted and sold, with their well-rehearsed and unfaltering diatribe. And if he had a credit card, which he didn't, and would never have, there was every chance he would buy some of the things, even though, like most who did, he knew he didn't want or have a use for any of them. So Jeremy sat in silence and ate his toast and drank his tea. The twinge and throbbing had all but dissipated above his left eye, and for some unknown reason he was feeling somewhat invigorated, which, while not unheard of, was unusual on any morning of just another day. Jeremy had often pondered why that was so and why it wasn't always so. Closing his eyes and reliving the previous day and night as best he could to get a handle on what he did or didn't do that might explain the reason behind this anomaly. But alas, it always remained a mystery. He had read countless books about boosting one's metabolism, detoxifying the body, dietary supplements, alternative medicines, vitamins, minerals and trace elements, tonics, meditation, and a whole host of publications that promised the secrets of well-being and overall good health and longevity. But when the last page of the last book had been turned, Jeremy only had but one revelation. What a goddamn waste of money it had been. His wife thought differently though, but of course she would. Not only because it was she who had bought all the books, but because she truly believed they all made perfect sense, were absolutely right, true beyond a shadow of a doubt, millions swore by them, they were all bestsellers, and if he, Jeremy, didn't think they were right, then he, Jeremy, was wrong. Full stop. Jeremy did try a course of over 50s multivitamin tablets, but after 60 days all he ended up with, as far as he was concerned, was expensive urine. She, Doreen, said he was too impatient when he, Jeremy, told her he didn't feel any better or different. But when he said there was no maybes on a packet of painkillers and they worked their magic in less than an hour, her lips disappeared and all was quiet. We get that look. But not for long. But you take those mini aspirin tablets and you don't know if they work, do you? She went on. No, but at least they have been scientifically and laboratory tested and proven to work. Unlike all those other things that have also been tested likewise and proven not to work. And they can be harmful, too. She had grumbled. You're such an irritating person at times. Do you know that? Yes, so you keep telling me. And And what about the omega-3? You know that works, and don't you dare say it doesn't. Shout out in the last-ditch effort of salvation. I don't know any such thing. And besides, there's nothing wrong with my blood cholesterol, because I have it checked regularly, and don't you dare say otherwise. Don't you get cute with me, Jeremy Wilson. Jeremy popped the last remnant of toast into his mouth and crunched down. A casual, unthinking action that 99 times out of 100 would have been innocuous on any other morning of just another day. On this morning of just another day, Jeremy's earliest suspicion that he might be in for one of those days of just another day suddenly became an exploding stark reality as he bit through the right edge of his tongue, setting off a chain reaction of minor, but nonetheless painful and infuriating events that all but happened at the same time. The very instant he bit his tongue, he winced, his eyes closed, flinched, screamed a muffled guttural "Ah!" let fly a vociferous string of 4-letter words. Well, one word actually. Fuck. The rock-hard corner of the toast remnant broke a right rear lower tooth, and the mug of tea he was holding with his left hand ceased to exist, the consequence of which saw the contents spill over the carpeted floor, cooling momentarily before spreading out and forming a dinner plate-sized Rorschach ink block type stain. Jeremy was so overcome with rage from the pain, the broken tooth and the spilling the tea that intermittently cursed the one-word expletive for 20 or 30 seconds. And when he wasn't venting his spleen, he was growling and grunting and groaning. After which he just sat, motionless. Sat with his torso forward, forearms resting on the armrest of the chair, the empty mug dangling from his left forefinger, tasting blood, in pain, made all the worse because he was instinctively rather than constantly filling the broken tooth with his tongue. All the while staring at the carpet stain, he knew on this fucking morning of just another day, he would have to get down on hands and knees and clean post-haste, otherwise he'd never get the stain out, and if he didn't do that he'd never hear the end of it. But of course. Okie doke. That'll do. That'll do today. Listen to that rain. Lovely. It's lovely. I want to thank you for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye for now. I was asked about the two little people there by Glenda, aka J.K. Fallon, and that's the Green Hornet and Cato. The Green Hornet was portrayed by Van Johnson, and Cato was portrayed by Bruce Lee, the late great Bruce Lee, who I was a big fan. Yes. So until next time. But he did that, didn't I? I did. I remember putting it. Yeah. Oh well. Until next time. Bye for now. And just listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. Just leave that on a little bit longer and I'll finish my tail. You're probably saying. 86. My resting pulse rate, 86. Well, I've just been reading it.